G'day YouTube, Turbo Tristan here. Today we're going to get started on our new EK Civic project. This is a 99 model, seen better days, but it's going to get the full treatment, every single possible bolt on to an EK and keeping it NA. So I've just had our latest project dropped off to us. The intro and the thumbnail is a bit of clickbait, sorry about that. But the car is actually in really good condition. This is the first time I've looked at it. It's losing all of its clear coat here. It's got these weird pinstripes which are going to go, but does have brand new headlights and some pretty retro period correct granny wheels. It is the facelifted version, and someone's gone and put a giant light bar on there. I'll test if that works later on. Yeah, she's a bit faded. We'll need to paint the roof. I do have a spoiler for the back. There's future projects just there and there, a bit of a teaser. Overall it's in pretty good nick. You can see the cobweb's been sitting a while. We're going to roll these guards and then I'll get to work patching up this. Rear bumper's good. We're going to respray that, color code this, repaint the wipers. Got a bit of a sick skull and crossbones sticker on there. This is the base model, so it does have the drum brakes on the back, which we're going to get rid of. Color code the side skirts and the side strips there. Give it a good clean up. The person that dropped it off to me tells me that it drives really nice and smooth and just really good nick. So we're just going to give it a really good service. Probably color code the mirrors. I'm considering painting the roof black, not really sure yet, but it does need some paint on there. Got to find a set of rims for it. I'm thinking 16s or 17s is a minimum. I do have a new set of front guards which are cheap enough, so I'll just replace those and paint them because I've got to do the bonnet and the bumper anyway. Color code the grille, possibly black out the Honda badge there in the front. Brought the rig inside. Here it is under lights in the Turbo Tristan headquarters. So as I mentioned before, we are going to get rid of these guards. It's just cheaper and easier rather than spending time sanding them down and cleaning them up, just to put brand new ones on. I'll sell this as a facelift swap. So if anyone wants these pretty mint brand new headlights, those, the guards and the front bar are for sale. I'll chuck them up on Marketplace soon on all the Honda pages, so jump on those if you're in Australia. Here we are here, covered in spider webs. We've got a few buddies there which we've got to clean off. We'll take it out and give it a hose very soon, but let's open her up. Stock standard interior. It is a manual, thank God for that. We'll pop the boot, we'll start in there. Hopefully no spiders jump out and bite me. Now the car did have a flat tire on the way here, so I'm told, so we do have these 4 rims. Pretty good tires. I think it's just a slow leak. We'll pressure test that. Probably sell those rims. Now the car does have a Rockford Fosgate sub in here. We will be keeping, because who doesn't love a good bit of bass? That all looks pretty brand new. Let's pull all this crap out. I did find some mounting brackets for a chassis brace, which looks like someone's put the arms on. We're definitely going to do that for sure. There is, you can see them just under here, the shiny bit. See that chrome there? There is aftermarket speakers in the car. So let's jump in the front, pull all that stuff out of the back seat. There's a heap on there. Well, just down behind me is all of the stuff that I've pulled out of the car that it came with. Quite a bit of stuff has been fitted and fixed up on this car, getting ready for a roadworthy previously. Now this car is going to be a fixer-upper. And like I mentioned in my last video, we're kind of going to be doing something a bit like Gas Monkey Garage. We're going to modify the car, tidy it right up, and hopefully we're going to sell it, and hopefully we don't lose any money. So these are the things that the car comes with, which we're going to get sorted. Now I'm considering getting the car registered. Let me know what you think, if I should or not. But there is a genuine HKS little bullet cannon at the back there. 2.5 inch, looks mint. The car's already had its steering rack all replaced, all of its bushes replaced, the brake drum cylinders replaced, there's rear camber arms, set of non-adjustable max peating rod coilovers that are going to be sold because we've got some other suspension going with this one. It's had the front upper control arms replaced, the rear lower control arms replaced. All that stuff has been done. The rear subframe brace and some really cool, I found these in the glove box. These are the bushes for the subframe brace and the lower control arms. So we've got all of that. I just cranked the car over after I've taken out the sub, and the sound system is awesome. Now I can't play it for you guys because copyright infringements. The guy left a CD in there for us. It absolutely pumps. Can't wait to throw the sub in and get it cranking even harder, because I really love my music, and it's really important when you're cruising around is just to enjoy it, have fun, cruise, listen to your favorite tunes. Under the engine bay, 100% stock standard. Now plans for the car is a set of extractors, an air intake and a full exhaust. That'll be it under the hood, but we'll make it all nice. I do have some underglow neon for the car. We're going to be selling these rims. I'm a bit in two minds. What do you guys reckon about black roofs? Has it been done to death, or is there still room for a black roof? I do have a copy EK9 spoiler to go on the back. So I was thinking do it all black, do the ends silver, and then just the middle pieces of the EK9 spoiler black to match this. Let me know what you think. So it's about time we check out the interior. Let's have a look. It's a pretty tidy car overall. No big stains or scuffs or anything. It does have the windy windows, probably just going to leave those. So no engine lights on or anything. The dash light globes need to be replaced, and it doesn't have a tacho, but we've got that sorted. Alpine head unit. Everything else here is all here and pretty sweet. Got the little tree, grubby fingers, but we're going to get this thing really tidied up, and I'm going to start with cleaning the car. Check out our little friend. First mod that I want to try and get out of the road is tackling the brakes. Now, if you have a standard Civic, you will have these tiny calipers that don't even have the bridging bar across them like these ones do. These are the monsters. I'll show you the difference in size just here. Absolutely massive. And these are the Max Peating Rods Mini Cooper S brake rotors, otherwise known as the poor man's brake upgrade. Now you can see quite a lot bigger there, absolutely massive, even bigger than the whole caliper. But the issue with this, fitting this today, is the wheels. Now check this out. Here's the wheel, here's the brake rotor. Put that there in the center, and there is certainly no space there. These are a 14-inch wheel, so we will need to go to probably a 16, I think, to fit these. So I'm gonna have a look around on Marketplace for a set of 16-inch rims. I prefer 17s. I kind of like that old school. 17s I think is perfect for a car like this. I've got 16s on mine, kind of wish they were a little bit bigger. You will also see that this car has the front camber adjustment. And if we go around to the back, this car has Super Pro solid rear mounts, which is great. And it's got adjustable camber arms in the back, which is also great. However, we are going to be changing this whole arm out and putting a disc conversion on here. You saw me do that in another video and set it all up. So we're going to get that sorted. The rear bar is going to need a little bit of TLC. All right, let's take a look underneath and see what we're dealing with here. So these are the Function 7 rear LCAs. They look to be pretty decent. Underneath here, stock standard exhaust. We're going to replace that with a 2.5 inch, I think, or 2 inch, whatever size that muffler is. It looks like 2.5, maybe 2.25. 2.25 would be ideal. I do have a set of 4-into-1 headers, which I'm going to put on here, and then I'll need a new cat, and then we'll make the rest of the exhaust up. Underneath here though, everything else is pretty nice. You'll also notice that there's no front or rear sway bar on this car, being that it is a base model Civic. So I'm probably not going to do that in this build. This one is going to be a really quick turnaround. Cosmetics, make it nice, make it just a nice street car, nice first car, or a nice base for someone to start out modding a car on. So, alrighty, so I was going to end this episode off here, but I have decided to do some mods and teach you guys how to replace the rear brakes. This will give you a rear disc brake conversion upgrade, and it'll be just like an EK4 or an EM1 Civic. What we need to do is undo the bolt at the bottom here, the one at the top for the camber arm, these two here, and then the one on the front there, and we'll get that out. I'll need to also disconnect the handbrake cable and take off the brake line. Well, there we go. The rear end is now upgraded. We have a disc brake conversion on both sides, all done. We've got the safe brake braided hoses here, all done, all hooked up, and also the handbrake cable is all hooked up. Now, when I started to pull this apart, I did it in all of the wrong order, so my loss is your gain. What you should do first is disconnect the handbrake cables from inside the car, which is just a matter of lifting off the center console. There's 2 screws at the front, and then it sort of clips back and slides out. Disconnect that first, it'll make your job a hell of a lot easier. The trickiest parts are there's a couple of bolts here holding on brackets that hold the cables in. That was pretty tricky the first time taking them out, because the brackets are underneath like that and then the bolts are on top of them, so you got to sort of reach around, do a bit of a reach around. But the Function 7 rear chassis brace is on. I just decided to stick that on as I was going. So the rear end's all done now. One part that I lost in the move was the pin that goes in here. So there's a pin that slides through there that holds the handbrake cable onto the handbrake mechanism. I'm missing that, so I'm gonna have to go to the junkyard and get myself a new one. Just knock out a pin. I do need to get a few more nuts and bolts, and I might even get some extra calipers for the little ripper over there, because there's a bit of an issue with the way they've set that up. Trip to the junkyard's always fun. But here you'll see the rear camber arms that were already fitted to the car. We've got the brake rotors on. I've cleaned those up with some brake cleaner, so there's no more oil on those. We've got the nolethane bushes here, which are all done. Everything's all buttoned up in the back now. I just need to bleed the brakes and put the pin on that side. I do have some max peating rods coilovers coming for the car. These are the next generation improved design. These will be the first ones in the country going on a Civic, possibly even any car. I will be rolling and flaring these guards. Somebody's tried to do it in the past and they've done a pretty crappy job, or they've done the best that they could anyway, but yeah, not very good. So I'm gonna roll those and flare those and do a bit of body work, smooth out the panel, and give it a nice flare so we can stick some fat rims on there. So I'll end this video off here. This is the first of a series of many builds for this car. This car is going to be NA, it's going to get full bolt-ons, everything possibly done to it, and at the end of it, it's going to be sold. So you can grab yourself a fully modified, P-plate legal, ready to go street Civic with a full sound system. It's going to have a short shifter, the disc brake conversion, the big brakes up front. We're going to stick a set of 17 or 16s on the car, so 16-inch wheels. Max peating rods coilovers is going to be bodywork, new paint. It's got the rear brace short shifter, extractors, custom air intake. It's going to have a max peating rods, intake plenum. We've got some new mounts for the front, and just give the car a full tidy up. It's going to have a brand new front end swap, new headlights, underglow neons. The engine bay is going to be fully detailed. It's going to look one of a kind and be really, really sick. So I think you guys will like that. So if you haven't already, make sure you like, share and subscribe. Spool up, as this build's going to be a pretty special one that you can own if you like. So from Iverson and me, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
He's so cute.